We use these for children 10 kilograms and above. It's a very basic ventilator, but for transportation, it does the job. I'm going to plug in the oxygen, and you'll see the eyeball going from red to white. So this ventilator now has oxygen delivered to it. It's a very basic ventilator. We can either deliver 50% air mix or 100% no air mix. For the air mix, air is entrained from the room from this device. As always, we check the ventilator hasn't been damaged or dropped and that the screen is flat. First of all, I'm going to attach the tubing, and VentiPAC tubing comes all together in a sealed pack. When assembling the VentiPAC, it's important to secure the larger tubing onto the exit port, and then this smaller piece of tubing goes to the back, and that will measure the pressure that the ventilator is delivering. The ventilator can function without the pressure line being secured, but you won't get a reading of the pressures you're delivering. Nowadays, this section tends to come all together. You just have to be ensured that it's tightly secured and there's no obvious kinks in any of the plastic. This has a very simple on-off button. Demand is for when the patient's self-ventilating. We tend to use it in CMV mode. So there's just the one mode with this ventilator. Turning it on, we can change the peak pressure using this dial here. The PEEP is determined by twisting this PEEP valve to the desired level. That goes 5, 10, 15 and 20. Inspiration and expiration once again set the rate. We usually have the inspiration set about 1 and then adjust the expiration according to the rate you want to deliver. Usually we'll go with a ratio of 1 to 2, so at 20 breaths a minute. This dial allows us to set alarm limits so that we don't over-ventilate the patient and give them too much air, and we can set that depending on the pressure we need to move the lungs. Always just 2 or 3 levels above what the PEEP is set at. Troubleshooting with this ventilator is quite straightforward. Check that both sets of tubing are secured. Check all the sections here have been secured. And check that the duck-billed valve in the middle of the ventilator is opening and closing. Once you're finished using the ventilator and the patient is secured, we can turn off the ventilator. All of the tubing is disposable and is put in a clinical waste bin. And we would clean the ventilator and gas line. If the patient has had Clostridium difficile or norovirus, we would certainly use our red wipes. For every other occasion, we would just use our universal wipes, and as I say, wipe the box and the tubing.